everyone, this is Crystal Jade. Today we will be looking at the material that was supposed to be live yesterday. So we're going to go through the introduction of webinar series that has to do with online teaching tools and tips. I think at another point it would be very important to talk about the technical issues that happened yesterday, because we all face those, and what matters how we learn from them later on. So just expect another section on that, because I'm sure you can all relate. Okay, so let me just turn that music right. Okay, so first of all, you guys need to be logged into Google Classroom. The details are in the description below, and so there you're gonna find the steps to log in and the code as well. But let me just quickly show you how to do it, and if you need further help on that, I'll be sure to make a video. Just give me 1 second, and there we are. Okay, so you do have a link to Google Classroom, but in case you would just rather Google it, you can just say Google Classroom. You type that in, and then you go to classroom.google.com. You click on that. Okay. So as you will see just now, I'll have a lot of courses on because I've used it several times. So if you haven't, yours will probably be empty, but we will both have, we will all have rather this plus sign. So just go ahead and click on that, and then press to join a class. Okay, and then go ahead and type in this code. So pause this video if you'd like to just catch this code, but make sure that your keyboard is on the English language setting. Go ahead and input that code. Okay, I'm assuming that you've done that. Otherwise, if you haven't, just go back and pause, and let's get started. Remember that once you get in, to always click on the second tab. There we go, the one that says Classwork. Depending on your language, something that means the same. And once you do that, you'll be able to see the units and the subunits and the material under those subjects. So remember that this course, this class was laid out in this specific way because our intention was to go live and interact with our participants. To start with, we went through the code of conduct, and it was about respect for all cultures, beliefs, and religions, ages, and all that. And when we were saying that, we just added a few photos that described those values that we were mentioning, just like open communication and community, and just working together even though it might be different. And the reason why I'm showing you this, and I haven't actually changed the names, is I want you to know where these photos came from, because you can use this open source when you want to make presentations or whatever it is that you might need professional photos for. So go ahead with every single thing that I'm adding on this class. I will have the link to the open source. Open source means having access to free material. Most of them will be open source. Some of them might have limitations, and we'll talk about them as well. So just go ahead if you'd like and press on pixels. So with pixels, you can let me just say education, the topic that it is that you're interested in, and you can find really good quality photos. You can do the same with videos. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and free download, but before you go ahead and do that, you can follow the talented people that took those videos or photos. You can donate to them, you can give them credit, and so on and so forth. So it's a wonderful open source. And then when you want to save that and also upload it to your Google Drive in your class, you can just go ahead before you upload them and just change their titles to whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, just a very quick mention. Guys, as with everything that we do, just don't take one source of information. as the absolute guide to everything. This video is meant to give you some tips and hopefully some inspiration, and there are lots of things out there that we can use. But please just do your own research as well, practice things, question things as well all the time. We learn from that. So and also remember that not everything is a one size fits all model. We're all different, our kids are all different, so we need to pick the best combination of sources for our kids and ourselves as teachers. So the reason why it's become a video, and I think what we're going to do moving forward, I think all of our initially conceptualized live sessions for this webinar series, we will record just to avoid any technical problems in the future. And also because really with a video you can just watch it whenever you want. You can pause it, you can rewind, and you can learn at your own pace. And that is something that we do use in blended learning when we want to, just be productive when learning. Blended learning, by the way, is something that we're going to talk about on another topic. It is a method that I'm very, very passionate about, and I think it can help us so much in our classroom. Okay, and what else? Yeah, I just, this is an informal video, to be honest. It's not meant to be a formal training at all. Its goal is to offer whatever it is that we can to educators out there, because these are difficult times, and we can all use the help and the tips to educate our kids better, and perhaps we can use our time after school to just prepare better for next year, because you never know when the next pandemic, touch wood, or something might come up, or you just want to make videos for your kids to learn better at home. So yeah, our goal here is to provide this series as an act of service for educators, and I hope you learn a few things. Okay, and yes, we do always have learners' best interests at heart. So if you want to suggest something, if you want to ask something, just please go ahead and ask. Really, we're open. Okay, so at this point, I'm not going to mention anything on Google Meet, because I think we're going to do a separate section on that, because from the number of people that managed to get into Google Meet, it became very clear that not everyone has has found it easy to access, and it's important not to take things as redundant, that everyone can access Google Meet or everyone knows how to get there. So we're just going to make it easier for you guys, and we're going to make a small guide on how to use the basics for Google Meet. Okay, remember that the way this is structured it was structured in the specific way to use during the live. Okay, so just very, very quickly, also by the way, we're under Google Meet, as with everything, you will have the link to that open source. Okay, who are we at Vidacom? Okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that, because the point today is just to empower educators as much as possible. But just very briefly, Vidacom is its name actually is split up into two. It's Vida and Com. Com is the abbreviation of community, and Vida was created by taking the first letter out of the phrase "it takes a village to raise a child." So just that "it takes a village" part, and we created an anagram which came to be Vida, also in Latin being life. So the reason for that name is because we want to create a community for life, where people from different backgrounds, ages, religions, cultures, beliefs, they come together despite their differences and work towards a common goal. And the hope is that we will all be able to contribute a piece of the puzzle, and that piece of the puzzle comes because we are different, and hopefully we'll be able to do a lot of problem solving, and just try and help each other out. So as you can see, this is a bit of a poster, and it has different words that characterize, or at least that we're striving to be characterized as. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because you can actually have your kids create a poster on specific topics. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So just click on the link, and if you click on the link, it will open you up to this page. And what you can do is you might have a topic that you want to discuss in class, like let's say climate change, and you ask your kids, okay, what words come to mind when we talk about climate change? They might already have some preconceived idea, but then you can tell them go and research as well, and then come back and tell me how your idea has changed, and just put some keywords, and then they can create their own posters. You can see the different formats. It is a very creative way to have students express themselves, and then at the end you can all come together and they can exchange those posters and see, you know what, John said this, I didn't think about it, he's, you know, he had such a good point, and then Maria added this, I'm not sure about this, so that student can go and ask Maria, and then they you know, they have a debate and reach each other with each other's opinions. So go ahead and use it. It is absolutely wonderful. Okay. The reason why I have that in that section, and I try and do this with all of my, I should have actually started with that, to be honest, but remember that the format was very different, so we had to give some information in regards to guiding them as to how the live was going to go. But in any case, when we have face-to-face training with educators, the first thing we try and do, especially when it's new educators that come together in a classroom, is we try and raise a glass to each other, because it takes a really special person to actually continue to educate themselves, and we really need to do that. Lifelong learning is so important, but it also means a lot of sacrifice to time, money sometimes, but it is absolutely necessary. But it should not be taken for granted that teachers have to do that. Yes, they have to do it, but you know, they're actually sacrificing quite a lot. So for those of you who are here and are spending your time in this way, I just want to raise a glass to you guys. And I am going to actually do that. I have a recyclable mug. I don't know if you can actually see it, but yeah, here's to you guys, for just being a constant in our students' lives. They really do need someone to inspire them, take care of them, and give them all the tools that they need in order to, when the time comes, go out there and do some real problem solving, because we have a lot of issues coming our ways, and we need the best of the best to go out there, and you can help guide them to become what we need, because they have it in them. It's about just helping them along the way. Okay, so I'm assuming that by this point you should have logged in. We had this in this section because when we started, it wasn't necessary for everyone to have been logged in, to have already logged in, I mean, so we could have just done it at the, you know, during the live, so you could see the code and whatever else. Okay, so getting to know each other. When we started the session, we used Jamboard to actually, just click on it. Jamboard is a board that is connected to your Gmail account, and you can use it, and you can share this board with your students as well, so that if you're writing something, they can see at the same time, and then they can write back to you and you can see it at the same time. It's fantastic. You have your pen right there. Did I pick the pen? You just see. Okay, let's pick this, and you can write whatever it is that you want. You can change the colors, then you can erase it. You've got the pointer if you want to point at something. You have the sticky notes, which are fantastic because you can just pick the color and you write anything you want in. The kids can write, you know, if you might want to ask them, you know, how are you guys dealing with being at home from school, and they all get to put in their thoughts and their feelings. And just the name obviously would be nice, because you know, you can't see the person face to face when they're talking. You can input photos. You can do it whether or not you can upload it from the computer if you already have it, or from your Google Drive, or you can just do a search at the same time. Holland, come on, Holland, whoops. Okay. Alright, and then you can just press select. Okay, and you can go ahead and put that up. You can just drag it wherever you want to. You can minimize, you can rotate. Just go ahead and play with it, and then just share your link with your students, or you can send them an email with it. Again, with this one, we're gonna go through, we're gonna create a small clip for you guys to show you how to use Jamboard, because there are also some things that we need to look into in regards to the settings, so that they can also edit. So yeah, just stay tuned, and we're gonna do that. Okay. Alright, so let's start really get into the tools that will make our life much easier, and we're gonna start with Classroom screen. This was created, it's a website that was created by an educator for educators, and it can definitely help you manage your classroom really well. Okay, so let's just click on it. Okay, so when you open this, you can share your screen as you're teaching your kids. You can share your screen, and whatever you see, they can see. And this is how you use it. It has so many tools underneath, and I'm just going to start with the traffic light system, which is just amazing, especially when you have little kids and you want to just provide some order. So you might have them do an activity, and you might want them to be let me just press on this. Yeah, I'm gonna press the yellow to say just wait, you guys. So 3, 2, 1, go, and you press the yellow, sorry, the green button, and then you just want to stop. So you go ahead with the red. Okay. Then I love this one, the random names. So what you do is you write in, you type in your student's name. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Paige and Phoebe. And then what you do is you ask a question in general, and then you don't pick who the student which student is going to answer the question. You just let fate supposedly take charge, and you press choose, and it says Prue. And the reason why this is so great is because kids know that they will not be able to look into your eyes to kind of suss out who are you going to pick, or they can't just you look at your specific patterns of asking students, so they know they have to be alert all the time, and this is great. So you can use it that way. Then if you're playing a game, you can use the dice. You can pick between 1, 2, or 3 dice, and then you can just roll them, right? This is wonderful also for probabilities, for example, in math. There are lots of games that you can play with dice. Then you have the sound level. Okay, the great thing about sound level is that you can decide what the sensitivity is, for example, and because you're teaching your kids are not on mute because you're discussing a topic, and then if you've set it, you've put your settings in, and if they start to become loud, let me just show you, it goes red so they can see it. Okay, and then you can actually also put your bell in so that it will actually notify you if you're really loud, so the kids know. And it's actually a good tool to teach them how to control themselves and be polite, because self-control is an important skill. And then you can just text, you can put in your work symbols. So for example, work together, ask your neighbor, just guys, whisper or just be silent. Okay, so those help a lot as well. Then you've got your timer, so you put up a specific timer, and then when the time comes, it will actually alert it, give you a little jingle to tell you that time's up, guys. Let's just check what you have done. You've got a clock, the calendar, and so on. So it's a great tool really to have as a screen to help manage your classroom. Okay, so like I said, and you guys remember, all of the links are there. Okay. Now, snap camera. Okay, let me show you what snap camera is. So you see that behind me I have this little virtual thing. I don't have a green screen, and we don't all have green screens, guys. So the point is to try and find whatever is out there that can help us achieve the best that we can in regards to how we come across, or just we want to make our lessons interactive. So let me just show you what Snap Camera is. First of all, if you just click on that, okay, so you can go ahead, click on the link, and then you can download it yourself. And then let me show you what Snap Camera looks like. So once you download it and you open it up, you can go to the settings, that little thingy right there, and then you can choose your camera. You can click on it and just choose your camera. I've already chosen mine, so I don't want to mess with it. And then you can type in different things here to search for lenses and find the background that you want. So let me just show you some examples. So let's say I'm a math geek and just want to have that in the background. You might want to do something like this, where if you raise your eyebrows, mathies come up. The kids really love this one, so it's like spyware really. So you might actually want to start a classroom by putting some James Bond music in the background and just have that spyware thing and say, guys, today we're going to be spies, we need to solve this mystery, we don't have a lot of time. And you try and make your lesson interactive that way. So it's under spyware if you want to search it in the lenses. And then you can use different things. I'm just going to stay with that for now. It's quite a nice background. Of course, are also very nice. So you can just go ahead and play with it. Let me put this back. Alright, cool. We should be fine. Okay, and the reason why it's good to use Snap Camera is because first of all, for those of us who do use Zoom, the virtual background is very easy to use, but there are people who won't be using Zoom that might be using, for example, Google Meet. So this is for this purpose really. And the reason why we use backgrounds is because we don't have studios and the house might be a mess. And the same with the kids. The kids might not want to share their bedroom. It is their private space, and we should respect it. But at the same time, we do want to see them. We do want to interact them. We do want to have that eye contact and make sure that they're actually paying attention and having fun. So just provide that option. There is another option that I will show next time for people who do use Google Meet on how to add a background or blur out the image and all that. So just stay tuned for the next one. Okay, so boards. Like you saw earlier, guys, we mentioned Jamboard. So if you want, that's the link. As long as you have a Gmail account, just click on it and you'll go ahead. But we're going to make another video on it as well. Alright, Whiteboard is one of those tools that you absolutely love. Okay, what it does is, I'm just going to resume class for a second. Actually, no, let me just not do that. Okay, there is a video there as well. Okay, what it does is you're going to press to create a class. When you do that, it will give you a link. You can share that with your students, and then once you send it to them, they can click it and get into that classroom. Then what you can do is on your whiteboard you can write a question. Let's say this. Okay, and once you accept all your kids in because they wait at the lobby, then they can see that you have a question, and you can say push whiteboard to all students, so it comes up on their own boards, and then they can go ahead and write their answers. So they can use the pen to draw, there's an eraser, you can actually write out pictures, whatever it is, and then click save their answers, and then all of their whiteboards will come up on your screen, and you'll be able to assess your kids' work individually. But I'm also going to create another video for this one, like a small video where you get to see what students see as well, and how you create this whiteboard from scratch. And then when you're done, you can just go ahead and just close it, and that's it. Alright, so there's Chrome Canvas. Chrome Canvas is just another useful whiteboard, so you guys can click and go ahead and give it a go. And then we're going to go to Krita. Okay, so Krita, again, is free. You click on it, you can download, and this program was actually created rather as a painting program. However, I found it very, very, very useful to use while teaching math. Okay, so let's say you've downloaded it and you put a layer behind it so you can write. If you guys want to know how to use this, just let me know, just write a comment and I can just make a video for you. But the way you use this is you actually need a tablet. So this is the back of a tablet, this is the front. I don't know if you can see it, you guys. There we go. Okay, and you need a pen to write with. So I use this when I need to, let's say we want to solve, we want to factorize this. Okay, it helps quite a lot. You can pick a different color, you can erase, you can do tons of things. But you know, as teachers, sometimes we can't really have PowerPoint slides or just slides all the time for everything, because I think some of the best teaching comes out of just interacting with your students and examples that come to your mind at that instant. You can't just organize every single thing, okay? And especially if you're a teacher who's taught a specific topic for a long time, you know what to do, you know what your kids need. And also the specific examples that we use in the beginning are not, sometimes they're not enough, or sometimes you need to make up a similar example because you've noticed the student hasn't fully understood a concept. So you can just go ahead, improvise and write on the board as if you would when you were there, right? So this is Krita, and to go ahead and give it a go. If you'd like, I can just let me know and then I'll send you the information for this Wacom tablet. I think it was bought on Amazon, I'm not sure. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead with some Google Chrome and Meet extensions. Now, I've recently actually discovered that Insert Learning might not be fully free. At least you're allowed a few classrooms, and then there's a limit and you have to pay. So I'm not going to mention it right now. You still have the link and you can go ahead and click on it, and I'll get back to you on that one. Okay, Google Translate. Alright, so with these extensions, what you want to do is you want to click on the link provided, and then you will have this page open up, and here on the blue button it will say add the extension. You can go ahead and do it, and then obviously if you want to remove it, just go ahead and do so. But what it does is, let me show you in action what it actually does. Yeah, I'm just gonna open Minecraft Edition, Minecraft Education Edition. I actually haven't tried this yet. I really want to try it. If you guys have tried it already, let me know what you think. Okay, so we're going to talk about now about Google Translate, and that's the extension right there. And what it does is it translates the page that you're looking at and you're investigating with your kids, it translates into the language that you like. So I picked Greek because I am Greek Cypriot, and automatically translates the page. And the reason why this is so great, well, there's several reasons. One of the reasons is, for example, in our classroom we might have kids that are from different countries and don't know the native language or just don't know English really, and they, you can just translate it to their language so that they can obviously be part of a lesson. Then the other thing is that there are a lot of sources out there that you will see that their websites are in English, and it's a shame to not utilize them just because they were originally written in English. So you can just go ahead, really add this extension, and then you can translate a page to any language that you would like. Alright, I'm just gonna leave that for a second. And then Web Paint. I absolutely love Web Paint. Okay, so let's go ahead. Where is Web Paint? Ah, there we go. Excellent. So when you click on Web Paint, let me see what I want to do. Give me a second, guys, to move it around a bit. Okay, let me pick another color. Okay. Alright, what you can do with Web Paint is that you can just write on your screen. Really, you can write on a web page. You can draw on it, and let's just say here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, an educator is oopsies is a common. Okay, you can just write anything you want, which is fantastic. I'm sure the kids are going to love it. Really, you can just write whatever they want. They might, they might see a figure and they might want to draw a massage or something. You can go ahead and erase whatever it is that you wrote. Or you can just clear the entire. There we go. The entire work that you did. If you want to pick a specific color, you can just click on this little thing right here, and you can just pick, let's say, this one, and then go to the little drawing pen, and you can just doodle, and it's really, really fun. You have other things there as well. You've got lines, circles, and you can just go ahead and play. And really, you can actually use this while you're teaching. And how do you do that? Let's say, you have a topic that you're investigating and you just want to emphasize something, or someone can't find what you're talking about, so you just say, John, there it is right there, guys, go ahead and just work it out. Okay, so it's absolutely wonderful. Dualist. So the Dualist window splitter, what it does is, let me just click on it so you guys can see. So that's its icon right there. And what it does is, for those of us who don't have an extra monitor, what you do is you can click on it. Let me just click on it, and you have different options and base and sizes, and you can split your screen accordingly. As you can see, let me just show you the photos that they've put up. So you see it splits your screen accordingly. And the reason why this is so useful is because you might be on Zoom, you might be on Google Meet, but and you just want to split your screen so you can at the same time monitor your students, whether or not they're actually paying attention. But you also want to have your websites open so you can just have your material there and ready. So there we go. Okay, so push to talk is something that younger students really find very very useful, because when you're on a Google Meet chat or a Zoom, I don't know if it actually works. I think it is just for Google Meet. It's difficult to find the mute button, so once they install that, they can just press the space bar and it mutes, and then they can just click on it again and then it unmutes, and they can take part into a conversation or answer a question, depending. So it is very helpful. And then we're going to go on to Nod. Okay, for you to use Nod, this is provided that you're using Google Meet. So let's just go ahead and open a Google Meet so you can see what I mean. Okay, let's start the meeting. Give it a second. Okay, so Google Meet is great because you ask your kids to also download it, and then what you do is, let's say you're saying something and you're like, guys, you get it, and they can just press thumbs up, or if you're saying something that's funny, they can laugh, they can party, they can clap to motivate one of their peers, or if they have a question, they can just raise their hand and you get that message back, and that someone has a question. So when as soon as you can, you just tell them, go ahead, John, or any student. I don't know why I'm using John all the time, but it helps you just monitor whether your kids are asking questions without them interrupting their class. So, and once you're done answering that question, you can just click on it, and then it's just cool. So I'm just going to close this now. So that was Not, everyone. Okay, and then we're going to go to Grid View. Grid View is also for Google Meet. And what it does is, let me show you. That's the icon right there. And when you're on Google Meet, just click on that and you get to see all of your kids' cameras. So you can monitor all of them instead of just looking at the one who's speaking, or just a couple, or you have to scroll down to see them. It's just there. You get to see all of them in two little squares. So And then Screencastify. Screencastify is an extension that allows you to record your screen and your voice at the same time for I think about 5 minutes. And once you're done with that, you can just download that video that you've created, and then you can edit it. Why that is great is because it's 5 minutes. I think is quite enough. I don't know if they've upgraded recently, but 5 minutes should be enough, because otherwise it's very easy to just lose them, or for them to get bored and lose focus in general. So yeah, you can use that to record your screen and record a snippet of a lesson. So let's say you can just put your PowerPoint on, or your slides, whatever that might be, and you can just go through your lesson, and they can just watch it anytime they need and pause and rewind if they need to. We're going to do a special video about this, and we're going to connect it to what's coming next, and that's Edpuzzle. Okay, for this one you're going to have to sign up. It's free though, but just make sure that you sign up and say I'm a teacher. You're going to have an option, just pick I'm a teacher. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to embed questions in a video. So let's say they're watching it, and then let me just show you. But I'm going to just be aware that with these two, Screencastify and then Edpuzzle, we're going to make a separate video to explain how to use it. So let's say you've uploaded that video, and then you just want to pick, at this section I want to add a question, and then let me just show you what it looks like. So that was a video of kids from camp just doing a teamwork exercise, and you see that at some point it just stopped and asked a question: do you think this student is having fun? Right? So I'm going to say no, although they were having fun, trust me. And then they get immediate feedback, so they know to go back and try and understand what went wrong. And it's actually very, very important for students to get immediate feedback, because a lot of the times when they don't get immediate feedback, there is a chance that they might take that as reassurance that their answer was correct, and they might actually memorize it incorrectly and build foundation that isn't really concrete, and then they can just go ahead and continue and learn with this video. But yeah, we're going to go through this a bit more analytically at another stage. Okay, so classtools.net. Classtools.net is a website that allows you to create games for your students. It's free, however, they do get their money based on ads. So do be patient. So what you can do, for example, you can see you've got something like Pac-Man, you've got Fling the Teacher, and let me just pick this one. You pick your game, and then you can say edit, and then you can just change. So you see, like it says, it is free, but it relies on advertising for its survival. Okay, so you can just write in whatever it is that you want. Okay, whatever, and then you can just save this list, and you press OK, and you have the link. You can share that with your students. Click OK, and then you click to spin. Anyways, it has lots of games that you can play around with. So, for example, with Pac-Man, whatever other game that might be out there, they might be playing a game, and for them to go to the next level, or for them to face an opponent in the game, they might have to answer a question. So you can just go ahead and give it a go. Alright, so Tricido. Tricido is one of those tools that you can use to debate a topic, do a bit of brainstorming, vote, and do a bit of problem solving as well. So let's ask a question. What do you think we should do to motivate students. Okay, and we click on go, and then once you do that, you have that link which you can share to your students or colleagues. And then once they have that, then they are allowed to add ideas. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and let's say you can use educational games. You can write who said that, or you might just want to leave that out because you want people to be unbiased. You can add a description, you can add an image, then click save, and then people will be allowed to add arguments or pros and cons of that idea, and then at the end they can vote. I'm just going to add a few more ideas so you can see. Care is always a good one. Really, kids know if you don't really care for them, they can sense it. And yeah, honestly, if I'm not being rude, I don't know if we should be in that profession if we don't care for students, really. Let's see, another one. Think outside the box. Oopsies. And then you can just go ahead and vote. Oopsies. Again, you can say who voted, otherwise you don't have to say anything. And then at the end, when you're all done, you can come together and just see what the consensus revealed, or you can see the pros and cons where you really debate. Yeah, it's a very useful tool. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and close it. Now Padlet is not fully free. If I'm not mistaken, you are allowed 3 pads for free. At least that's what my experience is at the moment. Don't know if there are certain settings that I haven't looked, unless you want to just reuse your pads. But let me just show you what it looks like. Padlet. So what Padlet does is, for example, you might be researching a topic in your class, and then you want the kids to collaborate. So you tell them, okay, what do you guys think about, again, the topic that we said, climate change. So they might already have a preconceived idea, so they do write a few basics, and then you tell them, okay guys, just go and research a bit more, we said earlier, and then they find different links, different opinions, different evidence to support certain views. They can just put it on that wall I can see here. Those links can be links from Wikipedia, articles, YouTube videos, just writing things or photos. And then at the end you can come together and see what you guys created and just discuss whatever it is that you all put up there. Because it's always nice to see things from a different perspective. Alright, so at this point, guys, we're not going to talk about Google Meet. We're going to just do a separate video because I think it's necessary. And then next time we're really going to just also talk about Google Classroom. That's also going to be a separate video. I think it's necessary. And then this is kind of where we start saying goodbye for now. But yeah, if you guys need any more help or want to help someone through education, because I mean, as you can see, these things that we're putting up, they are for free, and I do think it's it's very important to try and give as much as we can out there and learn from each other. So please do contact us if you want to do the same, and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more news. And something very important, we really do believe this statement, it does take a village to raise a child, so let's do it together. So we would love it if you guys might want to become part of our community, and the way to do that is we're going to create a Facebook group for educators where we get to come together and exchange ideas or tools that we might have, because sometimes we are facing difficult situations and someone might have an idea on how to do that because they've gone through it already. So I think it's very important that we create a platform where we can support each other, because our job is very, very important. So yeah, and the other way that you can become part of that community is if you're in Cyprus, or even if you're from abroad. We might be able to do an event together. Well, if you're in Cyprus, we can do it face to face for the kids and the parents to be hands-on. Or if you're from abroad and you just want to offer your piece of advice, or if you're an expert in a domain, we might be able to collaborate on a specific topic, and we would love to get to meet you. So I hope you guys start reaching out. Okay, what else? Okay. Alright, that's it, guys. So thank you very, very much for being here. It really was an absolute pleasure to have you. So all the best, take care, stay safe, and be kind to one another.